Los Angeles erupted into chaos over the past several days, leaving parts of the city scarred by extensive riots, violence, and widespread vandalism. Triggered by federal immigration enforcement operations, the unrest quickly spiraled out of control, with entire city blocks blanketed in graffiti and destruction. LA Mayor Karen Bass wasted no time addressing the city, urgently calling on community leaders, business owners, and faith groups to unite in a citywide effort to repair the damage. "This graffiti is unlike anything we've ever seen. It's extensive," she admitted, emphasizing the sheer scale of the cleanup ahead. Though city workers have already begun tackling the mess, Mayor Bass warned that without community-wide participation, restoring Los Angeles could take far longer. But the graffiti was just the beginning. The full story behind this turmoil runs deeper and darker than anyone expected. As Los Angeles grappled with the chaos, President Donald Trump swiftly responded by hinting at drastic measures, even floating the possibility of invoking the Insurrection Act, a powerful law rarely used against American cities. When pressed by reporters, Trump described parts of Los Angeles as scenes of outright insurrection, adding a provocative twist. "These are paid insurrectionists. These are paid troublemakers. They get money." Trump's intervention wasn't just talk. He immediately dispatched National Guard troops and Marines into the heart of the unrest, boldly claiming that without his decisive action, the city would be engulfed in flames. His comments ignited controversy nationwide, fueling fierce debate and escalating tensions between federal and state authorities. But even as troops moved in, many wondered, could this unprecedented federal response calm the storm, or was it simply pouring gasoline onto an already raging fire? Deploying federal troops to Los Angeles wasn't just a dramatic decision, it came with a jaw-dropping price tag. According to the Pentagon, the presence of National Guard and Marines over a planned 60-day operation will cost taxpayers a staggering $134 million. During a tense congressional hearing, acting Pentagon Comptroller Bryn Wollicott McDonnell admitted the funds would be pulled directly from critical defense operations budgets, raising eyebrows and sparking fierce debate in Washington. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth defended the massive spending as necessary, insisting the deployment would send a powerful message. The government won't back down in the face of what he described as rioters, looters, and thugs. But was this monumental cost truly justified, or was America witnessing a dangerously expensive show of force? And as the troops settled into Los Angeles, new concerns began to emerge about what could happen next. With hundreds of Marines patrolling the streets of Los Angeles, the tense reality of U.S. troops facing off against American citizens triggered fresh alarm. Marine Corps Commandant Junior Eric Smith addressed these fears head-on during a heated Senate hearing, boldly declaring he was not concerned about the Marines resorting to lethal force. According to Smith, the deployed troops were equipped only with batons and shields, strictly there to support local law enforcement and protect federal property. Yet, Senator Richard Blumenthal, himself a Marine Corps veteran, expressed grave concerns, openly worried about a potentially deadly clash that could permanently damage the reputation of America's most revered fighting force. Blumenthal's stark warnings echoed throughout Congress, fueling national anxiety and posing a chilling question. Could the unthinkable happen, shattering trust between the military and the very citizens they've sworn to protect? As the tension escalated in Los Angeles, the political storm brewing in Washington became impossible to ignore. House Speaker Mike Johnson seized on the turmoil to push the controversial One Big Beautiful Bill, a sweeping proposal designed to dramatically expand ICE's capabilities, adding 10,000 new agents and significantly increasing deportation efforts. Johnson argued passionately that the riots were proof that tougher immigration enforcement was desperately needed, sparking intense debate across political lines. Meanwhile, California Governor Gavin Newsom didn't hold back his frustration directly, challenging the Trump administration and even daring them publicly, saying, "Come and get me, tough guy," after rumors circulated about his possible arrest. This public showdown between state and federal leaders wasn't just political theater, it symbolized a deepening divide in the nation, raising unsettling questions about how far each side would go in their battle for control. But behind the chaos and political battles, a far more disturbing question was emerging. Who was secretly funding and orchestrating the violent riots tearing through Los Angeles? The FBI immediately launched an explosive investigation to trace the money fueling these operations, with FBI Director Kash Patel confirming publicly We're investigating any and all monetary connections responsible for these riots. Adding fuel to the fire, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem revealed shocking details on national television, stating confidently that the protests weren't spontaneous. They were professionally organized, with participants allegedly being paid and supplied with equipment like face shields and bricks. The implications were chilling. Who exactly was behind this shadowy network? Were hidden, powerful interests deliberately stoking chaos in America's cities? And if so, what were they truly aiming to achieve? Beneath the surface of the unrest, tensions were boiling between local law enforcement and federal authorities, creating confusion and dangerous communication gaps. Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman openly criticized the chaos, declaring on national television that his office was determined to prosecute and punish anyone behind the violent protests. But Hochman didn't stop there. He also called out the fractured coordination between ICE and local officers as a serious barrier, bluntly stating, "We do not have those smooth lines of communication." Adding complexity, the LAPD remained explicitly prohibited from cooperating with ICE, creating further friction. This clash of jurisdiction wasn't just procedural, it highlighted a deeper division within law enforcement itself, leaving many wondering if internal conflicts were making Los Angeles even more vulnerable to continued turmoil. As the smoke cleared and tensions slowly subsided, Los Angeles found itself grappling with uncomfortable questions that reached far beyond the riots themselves. From unprecedented federal military deployments costing taxpayers millions, to shadowy networks allegedly funding violence in American streets, the events of the past days have exposed deep fractures across the nation. Political battles, conflicting law enforcement jurisdictions, and fears of lethal confrontations between citizens and Marines underscore a troubling new reality for America. But perhaps the most unsettling question remains: could these explosive events be just the beginning, hinting at deeper problems yet to surface? Viewers are left wondering and worrying about the future of their cities and the hidden forces potentially working to ignite chaos again.